Okay, let's look at question 2. It's about conditional operator, question mark, and colon. Okay, so first of all, let's look at this and see how it is done. See what it does and how it does it. Okay, so it has an integer n and p. So it enter an integer and assign the value to n. So it assign something to p and then print p out. Okay, so what value will be assigned to p? So it says if n larger than 5 and n less than 20. If so, if this thing is true, n larger than 5 and n less than 20, which is n is between 5 and 20, it will return 33. Otherwise, it will return minus 77. Okay, so in other words, if this condition here is true, 33 will be assigned to p. Otherwise, if this condition is false, minus 77 will be assigned to p. Okay, let's run this out. Let's try to run it. Okay, so let's see 1.c. Yeah, so this is the program that we will test. Okay, enter integer, let's render 35. Okay, p is minus 77. So just now we say 35. So n is 35. It's not between 5 and 20. So minus 77 will be assigned to p. Let's try another value, which is 25. Sorry, it says 5 to 20. So let's try 15. Okay, so p is 33. So again, if n's value is between 5 and 20, it will return 33. All right. So the point here, the important point is, whenever you see this conditional operator, you always remember this. So if the condition is true, it will return the first thing. If the condition is not true, it will return the second thing. All right? Now, let's move on to part B. So it wants to output the larger one of two integers. So let's see, if a, b, max, enter two integers, assign them to a and b. If a larger than b, max equals to a. Otherwise, max equals to b, and then it will print max out. So it asks us to replace the if statement in the box with the conditional operator. How do we do that? Let's see. Okay, so this is how we can do. So let's look at the line 10. So as I mentioned, sorry, as I mentioned just now, right? So whenever you see this conditional operator, always remember. So if this condition is true, it will return the first value. If it's not true, it will return the second value. So it will ask if is A larger than B. If A larger than B, I will return A. If A is not larger than B, I will return B. Okay, so this is the max. Okay, so let's move on to part C. So we have used format specifiers such as %d, %f, %c, so %d for integer, this for double and float, and %c for character, %s for strings. So you can do something like this. So print good %s, then you assign two strings behind, so it will print the two strings out. Okay, so the question asks us to modify the following program by using the %s format. to make it simpler, to make it easier to print this. So the problem here, right? You see, there is some number person. There are some number person. So it wants to combine these two. So how do we do that? The answer is like this. Okay. So we just intersect %s, %d. We combine them in the same line. Okay. So let's say here, if n is less than 2, I will return is. If n is not less than 2, I will return r. Yeah, so this makes sense. So this whole chunk is for the first %s. Okay, so the first %s is either is or are, depending on the number of persons. If it's one person, I will return yes. If it's more than one person, I will return are. Okay, so there is or there are. Then %d is n here. I will just return the number. Okay, so there is one person. There are two person. Okay, so you notice here the %s is actually for another string. So it says if so this is for the second %s. So this is another string. Okay, so if n is less than 2, I will return nothing. If n is not less than 2, I will return s. Okay, so what does it mean? It means if it's one person, I'll return nothing. So we'll just print person. Okay, if it's more than one person, I'll return s. So it will so this thing will become persons. Okay, so for example, if it's one person, is one, nothing. Okay, so there is one person. If it's two person, it will be there are. Okay, n is not less than 2. N is equal to 2. There are two person, and string will return s. So there are two persons. All right. Okay.